Welcome back, another episode. This one's on about clothing, what layered clothing system I use, mostly for multi-day camps. Obviously if you're doing an overnight camp, you can adjust the clothing to suit the situation and weather at the time. Don't forget though, at night it does get colder, so do allow for that. I've got it in a staggered system from base layers right down to the final layer and installation layers. We'll go through each one, explain what it is and why I use them. Anybody who's been in the British Army will recognise a lot of the items on this thing. The British Army clothing is a good way of getting decent gear at reasonable prices. Designed to last, it's strong, and it does what it's supposed to do. We'll start at the beginning. This here is a thermal underwear set. This is my summer set. This is a man-made fibres. It's a sports set designed for sporting use mainly. It wicks sweat away quite well. It dries really fast as well. For 2 seasons, the summer and spring and autumn, 3 seasons I suppose you call it, I use that for sleeping in the sleeping bag. It's ideal for keeping you. I don't wear outdoor clothing. Some people wear outdoor clothing when they're in the sleeping bags. I think that's bad practice personally. I like to get the outdoor clothing off, otherwise you're going to end up sweating and stinking, and by the next day you're going to, if you're on a multi-day camp, you're not a few days of doing that and you're going to be smelling like an old dog. So I tend to get out of the clothing so they can air at night. This is what I wear. It's a 2-piece thermals. In the middle of winter I have a merino set, a merino wool set, which is very ideal. Obviously being thermals, you can also wear them during the daytime if it's really cold. Spring onwards I don't find that's really necessary because daytime temperatures are okay. Gets a bit fresh at night early in spring and autumn though, so don't forget to allow that in your clothing system. My next layer after that is actually a green work shirts, polo shirts. Man-made fibres again, you'll see these are actually designed for outdoor workers. It's a breathable fabric, it dries very quickly. If it gets wet it dries exceptionally quickly. It's nice and airy to wear, it's comfortable. Whatever you do, don't wear cotton. It's a real big mistake. Never wear cotton when you're doing outdoor stuff. If it gets wet it takes forever to dry and you're going to be pretty uncomfortable for the whole time you're out. Next layer, you want like a warm layer, like a jumper or some sorts. This one here is what the British Army called the Norgie, designed by the Norwegian Army. Obviously they're quite good at being cold, so they know how to deal with it, and this is what they come up with. It's a lightweight microfiber fleece with a quick drying lining inside. Fits right up to your neck when you've got it on if necessary. 3-season use, this is my primary garment. If I go camping in the middle of winter, I'll use the British Army wool jumper as standard issue. Obviously in the middle of winter you're going to be in a jumper the whole time, but this one is ideal. You can take it on and off quick. If I'm not wearing it, I'll stick it on the top of the webbing section at the top of the back for quick access, or tie it around my waist. As you go along and walking, especially if you're doing some hill climbing, mountaineering at the same time, you need to adjust your layers to suit. If you end up sweating, then you're going to start getting cold and uncomfortable. Trousers. I either use the British Army issue MTP trousers. These ones here are made a Chinese brand. They're actually a copy of the British Army trousers. They're made, I buy them from a company called Refire Gear. They're a store on AliExpress. They do a good range of outdoor gear. They're worth looking into. It's decent stuff. This is actually a ripstop nylon. It's actually a better fabric than what the British Army uses. It's actually got a pattern, so if it does rip, it'll rip to the, it won't carry on ripping. Good stuff. Decent amount of pockets. It's got the same amount of pockets as what the British Army stuff has. Cargo pockets on both trousers. Large amount of pockets here. There's a knife pocket. All sorts of stuff. Right, the next layer after that, if you're cold. It's very rare I use these. These are mostly for use for when you're in the camp at night. This is a pair of down trousers by Nature Hike. Add an extra layer of insulation to your legs. Very warm. It's like wearing a thin sleeping bag. They're really comfortable to wear. I also have booties which I wear at night as well, which go along with this. By wearing these with your thermal underwear in the sleeping bag, you can get away with using a lighter sleeping bag. You can go one down. As I said, these provide the warmth, and once you're in your sleeping bag with these on, it's like being snuggled up in a big quilt. It's very comfortable. They're not waterproof. Same rule. Most down jackets, they're never 100% waterproof, because obviously the seams, it would leak at the seams because there's so many seams. As you can see, they haven't been out very long, and they've locked it up quite well. On top, down jacket. This one's a Trespass. 650 fill, I think it is. My standard winter jacket. This combined with an outer layer. It's exceptionally warm. Too warm mostly. I mostly use that just for sitting around camp at night, because once you obviously stop walking, you're no longer producing heat from energy. You start getting a bit cold. These keep you lovely and warm during the evening. So on the outside, final layer. This is the British Army MTP lightweight waterproof set. 2-piece trousers, Gore-Tex, 100% waterproof. A good feature of these is that they have full length waterproof zips that go right up the leg. They make getting them on and off very quick. You can get them on and off easy with your boots on. On the inside you can see it's a Gore-Tex fabric. They're all seam sealed as well. If you want a decent pair of waterproofs at a reasonable price, then I'd thoroughly recommend them. Search on eBay or various surplus stores for MTP lightweight Gore-Tex. You'll come across these. They're, as I said, they're exceptionally waterproof. I can stay in these all day with heavy persistent rain and I'll be bone dry underneath. It's a similar fabric to the actual bivy bag. It's a bit lighter. The bivy bag fabric's a heavier Gore-Tex, but this is a lightweight Gore-Tex. It's designed as an overlayer. Not quite Pacamac sort of lightness, but not far off it. That's the trousers. Jacket. The only drawback with this, there's no hood. There's pockets on the arms. No pockets in the actual jacket itself, unfortunately. As I said, it's designed as a lightweight overlayer. It's the same again, same fabric, seam sealed Gore-Tex. Very good. Exceptionally light waterproof. In fact, I'll go and get a glass of water to show you. Back again. Yeah, not all these only exceptionally waterproof, they're also exceptionally breathable as well. You can wear these all day without getting sweaty. They also have a handy little underarm vent, so if you are getting a bit warm, you can undo the vents there. If I move this down gear out the way, so I don't want to get wet. cut this together and you'll see how waterproof this stuff is. Gore-Tex really is the best material there is for waterproofness. The only other one that is as good as Gore-Tex is a stuff called Paramo. This is used by some of the big name brands for waterproof gear, but it's exceptionally expensive. These Army Gore-Tex sets can be, the trousers and the jacket can be had for around about 60 quid, 60 to 70 pound, depending on what condition they're in. As you can see, doesn't let water in at all. So you can be out in the rain all day in this without any issues. Doesn't get through in the seams because every seam is sealed. So scrunch it together so it doesn't penetrate. Still just sits on the surface. Give it a shake and the actual water's gone. That's that good. Right, that's my layers. As you see, it's very army orientated. As mentioned in the beginning of the video, it's good gear for a decent price. 60 to 70 pound for a set of waterproofs of that quality is very good. If they were a civilian brand like Rab or you know, another good brand like that, they'd probably be over £100 per garment. So there's a good way of getting decent gear for a good price. Hope you like it. This is the small items outerwear for the clothing layers. This is the British Army boonie. Perfect lightweight hat. Summer hat, it can be used for folded. Also use it upright. I treat that with a waterproofing agent, like a liquid silicone, so the water just runs off of it. Reason being, I use that with the lightweight waterproofs, because the lightweight waterproofs don't have a hood. It's the only drawback from them, so you have to use some head protection. Also using a wide brim hat, the water runs off the side. It's very waterproof again. You put water on that, it just runs off. I also carry a little small beanie. If you need a bit of extra warmth, and what that gives, you can combine the two as well if you want. You can also use that at night, especially if you're sleeping in a bivvy bag. It's put that on your head and keeps your head warm. Especially if you experience a bit of frost in the morning, you wake up with a bit of frost on your head. This one here, also from Refi Gear, the company I mentioned about the trousers. This is a super lightweight Pacamac, not waterproof, showerproof slightly I suppose, but it's mostly used as wind protection. It's typical Pacamac style, it's just exceptionally light. You can actually see the skin through that. Doesn't let the wind through, but it's exceptionally light and very good at keeping away the wind. Better than the Pacamac because it's breathable. It's like a modern day example of a 1970s Pacamac. I carry these